Bulldog is the one position safe lane usually, and Quake for mid.
Oh, alright.
Radiant
So
team
I was thinking Lycan on Quackwa, Storm on someone else. So apparently not. So it would be like Bulldog Lycan since it's position 1. And Quackwa will be on the Storm. Maybe a mid Lycan and a safe lane Storm.
And the Centaur now picked up. So VP going with their kind of signature aggressive face rushing heroes, and
seconds remaining.
generally when we see the Dazzle Venge, it's in combination with heroes that like to
5
dive. So the
seconds
Slark,
remaining.
the Centaur, heroes that get aggressive, you want to be able to bail them out. They have the Grave, the Swap. These heroes can go in real deep and get out quickly.
Virtus Pros
And now
turn
Tinker
around.
going back for the Rubik. A support that's been very popular in especially with the Russian and Ukrainian teams as of late, but not quite so much with the Western European squads.
10 seconds
Yeah, the hero
remaining.
sometimes feels that he doesn't do much when there's not much spells for him to
5
steal and not
seconds
very good
remaining.
zoner in the lane. But they have the Skyruff, so it's not gonna be a huge deal. The Rubik will be the more greedy
Reserve
support this game.
time.
Looking at the spells, the big spells that he can actually steal would be probably just Stampede. It doesn't feel like a great Rubik game because there are heroes like Bench, Slug, and Centaur. They're all heroes that can actually kill the Rubik very easily.
Yeah, he's looking at. They don't really have too much
Radiant
in the way of
team
escape
down.
mechanisms on this Tinker side for the support.
Yeah,
So
like
Scarth Rubik get
like
caught,
Rubik
they're
is
just dead.
Rubik is actually like some very weak against space rush heroes, like we mentioned the Slug and the Centaur. It's particularly weak against those playstyles.
10 seconds
Well,
remaining.
Tidehunter, the ban from VP. They want to be able to dive and not have to worry about running into a big AoE team fight. And well, it is a hero Bulba could play. I guess other Bulba heroes in the pool right now. There's the Clockwork, one of his signature heroes. Not the best versus Slark, but it could be decent versus a
Yeah.
Centaur.
I'm thinking Virtus 4 might want to go for like Ember against there's like a potential summon units from Necrobooks and the Wolves. Ember will fit their face rush lineup pretty well.
Yeah, they do need a G hero here. The Slark normally in BZZ's hands, so
10 seconds
Ember's
remaining.
definitely a G signature, though normally he's banned a bit earlier. To see him still
5
around in the
seconds
5th pick is
remaining.
kind of unusual versus this team.
Yeah, the only concern about the Ember is like they have 3
Reserve
melee
time.
cores. The lanes might be a little bit weak, and the opponent might be able to capitalize with very good roaming supports early, Rubik and Skyruff. So that's a weakness that they might want to think about if they are actually planning to pick the Ember. Ember would fit their lineup, but he might have a rough
10
early game.
seconds remaining.
They go for a different style. It's the
Radiant
Necrophos
team
coming out
pick.
now, and well, maybe it's even G who takes the Slark mid. Maybe they look to run this Necrophos on the safe lane. We don't see the hero mid too often. He's fairly squishy and gankable early on, but I guess you could always get the double reign of protection if you want and look to tank up.
I'm thinking like the Slug, if you're putting the Slug mid, he would be in an unfavorable matchup as well if it's
10
the Storm. Like
seconds
regardless
remaining.
if he's up against the Lycan or the Storm, he's not gonna have a good time. Because Slug doesn't have a
5
lot of
seconds
armor.
remaining.
Lycan has a lot of right click damage. He's gonna be able to do a lot of damage when you're coming in close to farm.
This is a
But
nice
anyway,
Bulba hero, and it goes really well with the
it's
Lycan, the puck.
yeah, it's a very good hero like, with their lineup. It fits a lot with the Lycan especially because you give him time to right click stuff down.
All right, guys. Well, we're ready for game 1 to get underway. It's Virtus Pro taking on Tinker. It's a best of 3 showdown and elimination match, as well. All matches are single elimination format. It is, and Tinker, they'll get some comfortable heroes. I feel like the Quake for Storm, a classic for him. The Rubik for Jerax, hero that he's made a lot of play on, dating back to Dream League, even with the old and ill-fated Q-Pad Red Pandas. We still saw some great Rubik play from him back then, and well,
10 seconds remaining.
Bulb on the puck. It's a fairly comfortable hero. The Saint Skyra is something we've
5
seen quite a bit.
seconds remaining.
He's actually, I'd say it's his most effective support so far in this new role for him.
Huh, I just realized he's playing support, so I didn't know he was playing support.
Yeah, it's they've moved him to support.
Prepare for
Bulba
battle.
is actually playing the off lane now. So
I think this might actually be a lot better for them since Singh and Jerax were old teammates.
yeah, they should have a little
Might
bit
have
more
better
synergy. And
chemistry.
I also just feel that Boba is much more comfortable in the off lane, though. I guess we'll have to see if Sing
Yep,
Sing
agree.
can get comfortable in the support role.
And what you want to see now is like Centaur just ran and placed this very good early ward early on, so enemy wouldn't be able to spot out, like TT wouldn't be able to see the position. They have to guess at most if they really think the Centaur has a ward there. So I would say that this spot would be very difficult for them to take away, and a lot of vision. It's a very good position as well.
All right, let's go ahead and introduce our teams real quickly. Doesn't look like we'll have any bloodshed early on, and Radiant team also dropping down that fairly aggressive ward. We've got Boba playing the puck, heading towards the offlane. Koikfa on the Storm Spirit mid. For Team Tinker, it's Sing Sing handling your Scarith Mage. Bulldangarino, not in Twitch chat. For once, he's actually playing Dota. Seemingly a rare sight as of late in the professional scene. He'll be on the Lycan, and it's Jerax on the support Rubik. As for VP, they come in with Sadoy on the offlane Centaur. Johnum playing your support Vengeful Spirit. BZZ on the Slark. G to the max on that Necrolite or Necrophos, and looks like he will actually be going mid, and well, it'll be a Dazzle support headed to the safe lane.
Yeah, I mean their lineup, he's the most suitable like mid hero. Like you mentioned, he's still weak to ganks, but the other like Slug doesn't have a good laning matchup, so like it's just basically the best option they have here.
Is fairly vulnerable to getting ganked early on. 2 armor, 550 health. So he'll have to be careful about these supports roaming.
Yeah, they have Dazzle, so Dazzle usually gets a TP very early on, and that will actually be like if you can actually at least save the Necrophos from a 2-man smoke, it's already worth it. So
they also have that ward.
So, it's yeah. Additionally, that ward is already giving them so much info when they are going to be smoking or whether the supports are pulling.
Now,
stacking the jungle is actually.
It does block the camp, so looking at Tinker right now, no, they do have sentries on Sing Sing, and well, we'll have to see if he's able to find this one quickly.
If you actually place the usual spot, one here and one here, you are going to be, I think it's at the edge if I'm not mistaken. You won't be able to see it. If you place it at the normal spot. This is very difficult for them to debug.
Let's see, is Jerax going to get it?
Nah, there's one. The other one is missing. He doesn't have the second one.
Oh, it's still on Sing Sing. Wow. Unfortunately, whiffs on the first D ward. Nicely placed by VP. Already getting a lot of intel as well as just general value out of that. And look at this mid lane. G is just bullying Koikfa early on. He's gone for the early no tally build as well, yet he's almost out of HP. And they're actually going to bring the puck in.
Yeah. He needs to send us. Yeah, he's sending us south. Like, he noticed that he went for the 2 pull tangles build. You don't have any extra regen, so he played really aggressively at the start, trading blows, and it was really good for him. Storm's under so much pressure because of that.
Yeah, obviously Necrophos, he trades much better than a Storm since he heals as well as damages you with his nuke, and well, he's got a decent damage to boot. Quickfoot with the high armor, but when the nukes just keep on coming out, he's struggling. Also, there's that early point in Heartstopper aura, which slowly whittles away at your HP. Ever so annoying.
Yeah, they have to try and get ganks happen because the sentry ward, like I expected, didn't manage. Only to just clip it by the side. You need to place it a little to the left. It's difficult because usually you would just commonly place it in the middle. Bottom lane, they're going in Sadoy.
Lift already used. Not enough damage to get the kill. Bulldog actually going to tank quite a few tower pot shots on his way out, but not enough to put him in any critical danger.
Skyroth wasn't in position though, like he was going towards middle when they were fighting, otherwise they would have gotten the kill.
Yeah, I think he's torn, seeing that his Storm mid is really struggling.
Oh, he's probably dead. Santos, or they went for the wrong side.
Yeah, they did have a lift to cancel that TP, but unfortunately they guessed the wrong way, and he actually TP's all the way back to base. Probably could have just TP'd to the tier 1. But there's no creeps at the tower anyway, so it isn't really going to cost him too much.
Yeah, I think TPing back to base was better since he didn't have mana, like you mentioned, no creeps, and there was nothing for him to, no experience for him to sap. So going back to Fountain, regening back your mana, he might actually even consider going to jungle sometime soon. Like there's nothing much you can do in this lane.
Comparing the two teams, there was a successful D ward here top, it looks like, for VP, so their supports are getting their pulls off. They're getting some levels, and as a result, just getting a little more out of the lane so far, it looks like.
Yeah, Centaur is going to kill the Rubik. Oh no. he was just standing there. I think he was talking to his teammate. He didn't realize the centaur walked right up to him. He had boots and he had lift. It was costly mistake, but yeah, it was. I think he was just talking to his teammate or something.
Boba getting jumped a
Happens.
little bit here by VP, but they're not going to be able to go on him. So a nice first blood for Sadoy. And with that, the Tranquil Boots, I believe, pretty much complete. Yeah, he's even got the Ring of Protection coming out, and now it gets much
Yeah,
harder
that's
to
huge.
dislodge him from this lane.
Yeah, he was able to play so aggressively because the ward again noticed that Singh actually went to middle to stack the camp here. That's why he was able to play so aggressively. So that was a big deal for the Centaur, getting ahead on levels.
You know, looking at how like players like Aloha Dance have been playing the Rubik, they're very aggressive in the laning stage. But Tinker running the Skyreth Rubik, a support duo, they get the boots first. They could be moving around for kills, but so far they haven't been able to deward. They haven't really kept the Centaur out of lane. They end up giving him a kill. This is not what you're looking for from your supports.
Yeah, dude, the ward is doing a lot. Like he made a lot of those decisions based on what he saw. Like the ward giving how much information the ward is giving him. And like you mentioned as well, the Skyraf wasn't prioritizing staying at bottom. He tried to move to middle one time, he tried to stack the other time, so he wasn't always at bottom, and the ward was the reason why the Centaur knew that, and he was able to make the decisions correctly towards the positioning of where the Skyraf is, and he knew he was safe. That's why he was able to get so much out of the lane.
Koikfa's in the danger zone now. One Necrophosol would have been enough to bring him down, but now he's a bit out of mana. He'll regen up, continuing to push the lane in, and he is really dominating Koikfa. Known for his 1v1 prowess, but struggling heavily in this matchup. Maybe counting on that Skyreth Rubik to come mid, but they've not been able to find any opportunities to put pressure on G thus far.
Yeah, I think they need to use a smoke if they want to go though. They didn't start out with a smoke, and the roams didn't pay off, and like the other thing that's the reason why he's having such a hard time was because the level 1 where he didn't have a salve and he was under severe pressure.
Oh, Boba caught out. They've got an Necrophosol. That is a very dead puck. 50 seconds on the sideline.
That is disgusting, and it has such a huge game impact. I feel like early game you die for 50 seconds. It's such a huge deal.
Especially when you're an offlane puck who's not having a particularly great time. He's got 5 CS. You compare that to the Centaur, he's about even, but Puck normally a hero that can squeeze a little more out of the offlane early on, and they will jump in on G. Get the pull off here. Can they dive him though? Venge in position to try and turn this, but the Sentry Ward, it's a little bit out of range. So stun doesn't connect. Koikfa able to run away. Nice dodge back there, and meanwhile Jerax brought down by that fleeing Necrophos nuke. The Death Pulse finishing him off. Just unable to fully escape. That's costly.
They TP'd so many heroes middle, and now but no one's bottom, so Centaur is like running up, closing into his level 6. This Centaur is gonna be a huge pain for them.
And Bulldog,
he's getting way too much off the offlane.
Bulldog, if there's any rotations, Bulldog can easily die here. He does have his ulti, but you start with the Centaur stun, you follow up with like a Avenge stun, and that should be. He's actually going for a solo kill. Stampede's on in, gets off the stomp, double edge, not going to be used though. Just trying to bait out TPs.
If he had the 2 points Storm, probably he might actually get that kill, but 1 point, I don't think he gets the kill. He needed a little more damage.
Meanwhile, VP
and
smoke.
Here comes the smoke. Yeah, he doesn't have mana on the Centaur though. This is a huge concern for his team, but he still has double edge, but no Storm.
Jadam, as well as Yo, gonna connect onto Bulldog. They isolate him in the tree line, and although he has ulti, he's not using it just yet. He runs to the right, he's gonna get double edge down, and that Rubik unable to save him.
That was a big miscommunication. He tossed the Centaur to the right, and Bulldog was running to the right. I think he was expecting Bulldog to run left towards the base, towards the jungle, and Bulldog ran the other side, and he basically tossed the Centaur to the Lycan, and that was why he died there.
That hurts.
That was a big kill.
The 2 kills, basically the difference in net worth between him and the puck. 700 gold lead. CS-wise, he's slightly ahead, but this means his blink is going to come out much faster.
Yeah, and you look at the support heroes, like Tinker has the Skyraf. Usually this doesn't happen because when you have Skyraf, the offlane is such a difficult early game because of the nuke spam. And VP had arguably the weaker supports, and Puck, like you mentioned, you usually see Puck getting more of the offlane compared to other offlaners like the Centaur.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the TP Grave is pretty strong defensively, but generally when we see this support duo, the Dazzle and Venge, teams are really picking it for later on in the game. You've got the swap initiation,
Yeah,
defensive swaps out, you can go deep with the
it's
Grave. It's more of a late game
supposed to
support
be
duo.
yeah, supposed to be weaker at the start, but they are actually getting more done compared
That's
to
scary.
the Rubik and the Skyra. Yeah, this is gonna be a huge problem for them soon. Because the Necrolite is gonna... He's actually building into a mech first item. So he's gonna get it fairly soon. He still needs to get the recipe, but it's gonna be a very early mech. And Team Tinker doesn't have a hero that builds a mech, so I would foresee them not having a mech this game. And that would mean that they have to sack a lot of towers early on. Because enemy will have a very early mech, and you can't defend when the enemy team has such a early mech.
Mech as well as the Dazzle heal, and the Necrophos heal, so...
Yeah, not to mention initiation. Like Santo had such a good start. The blink is gonna come at a good timing.
And the issue for Tinker is, well, I guess what's the plan at that point? They do have a Lycan, but if there's a fast blink on Centaur, it's very dangerous to split push. And they don't have great deep push. They have Rubik, who's only level 4, only a level 2 Fade Bolt, no Spell Steal.
Dire's middle tower is
And they
under
have
attack.
a Puck, who, if he uses his orb to defend towers, is fairly vulnerable to getting jumped. So they are definitely lacking
don't
in
have-
that department.
They don't have much choice though if they fall behind so much. So that's, I mean, you have to run the risk of getting caught when you're split pushing when you can't fight directly.
Yeah, it really feels like they have to make that trade where maybe we give up towers, but we get a tower here or there of our own, and we hopefully find a storm pickoff or two. Get
And-
Koikfa going.
Yeah, they can also count on, like you mentioned, the storm pickoff, which is also another tool they will want to have later on in the mid game when the storm gets a lot of items. But at this point, they are considerably far behind, and they need some time before they actually can come into this game. Like the wolves can be used to scout later on, so that he knows whether he's safe or not. But bottom lane, they're gonna try and this is not gonna be easy, but they're gonna try. It's morning.
They go in with the stun to start. Jerax now stomp double edge. Well, you said not easy, but VP making it look easy there. Couldn't get off the lift
Yeah,
in time.
he had a chance to get the lift off though. I think he just hesitated.
Radiant's bottom
Would have bought
tower
enough
is
time for his
under
team
attack.
to at least TP in, but he will probably still die. But maybe get a trade off.
Yeah,
he got the
I
lift.
do like how they lead with the Venge there, though, so you have less time to react than if it's that melee stun of the Centaur.
Yeah, for sure. They had the lead with the bench, but now the Centaur is like 500 away from his blink. That's gonna be in maybe minute 13 or minute 14 on the Centaur, which is very good. And that's the time where they're gonna be really scary.
In good news, though, Koikfa, he just cleared out a quad stack here in the jungle, so he's at least farming fairly well. Lycan has been working his way through these double stacks for Buldong, but already. Oh yeah, we forgot there's a Slark in this game. It's been quiet, and generally when Slark gets free farm and it's a quiet game, it's not a good game for the opposition. He now picks up a completed Shadow Blade, and he can just start looking for a lot of solo kills all over the place. Rubik's an easy solo
I'm not
kill.
so
Skyrath is. Even Puck if it doesn't have orb.
Radiant's middle tower is under
I think
attack.
I wasn't expecting. Like, I thought he would actually go for Mina since the game is so it was going so smooth for them. But they want to fight very early.
It does suit getting the fast mech. You get the fast mech, now you've got a Shadow Blade and
Yeah,
your Centaur
yeah,
Blink. Your
that's a
3
good
core
point.
items to fight.
Yeah, but like there's a risk though if you don't get kills and you die once or twice, then not very good for the team. But they are in a very good position with the Shadow Blade and the mech and the blink. Everything is coming at a very good timing together.
They are going on BZZ top lane as he gets coiled. He does have his ulti, but ends up being unable to get it off there. Nice jump. In the meantime, mid also setting up is Team VP. No Radiant Vision right now of this hero up the hill, but Koikfa is playing back. And that will get the Pucker's Blink. Pretty timely, actually,
Dire's
all things
top
considered for
tower is
Bulba.
under attack.
That is actually a really he went naked blink, but it's still a good timing, acceptable timing. He's gonna be able to help his team at least initiate and while the storm, because like the storm is doing a lot of farming at the moment, not much of roaming and rotating. So the Puck will be handed over the job to be able to make space. Centaur has his
Dire's
blink as
middle
well,
tower
so
is under
wow, they're actually
attack.
going for the Roche now without some medallion.
All right. You look at this draft, and it's not like a super obvious Roche lineup, but they do have a lot of heals. It might take a while.
I think he was just checking whether the Lycan was sneaking in. He
Yeah.
wasn't actually trying to do the rush. Yeah.
If they get a medallion, they
probably,
could though. They have mech, they have heals, but not yet.
This is the first Shadowblade gang. Enemy doesn't know. They want this to work very, very badly.
Shadowblade already used as BZZ leads the charge, but Tinker, fortunately for them, are moving towards the top side. They're also scouting maybe to see if that Storm or is farming a stack or even the Lycan, but nobody's here. In the meantime, top lane though, they find Yoli, gets off the quick grave. Does VP even bother to rotate? He TP's out. Coil is used to secure that kill.
That was really well played. He forced out the core. Otherwise, he would have lived.
And now they
That was
really
a really
can't
good
defend
reaction.
it. Well, they're too late anyway.
Yeah, but I just want to talk about how quick he reacted and graved himself. Otherwise, they didn't need to like all these small little things have a huge impact in the game. When you force the enemy to blow out ulti, like it's a short cooldown, but it's still something for the team.
Yeah, it secures that tower mid. It also, they can get more aggressive here bottom, and there won't be help really coming in from the puck.
Yeah, Jerax is in a very precarious position right now. He is surrounded, but I think he still wants to try and get experience. They find him, he's gonna be dead for sure.
They have 4 heroes in the vicinity. Do they track him down? Not sure. In the meantime, Tinker off split pushing top. Well, not really split
Centaur
pushing.
is looking for him.
Just pushing.
Centaur is looking for him. He knows he's there. They know he's there. They're looking for him. He's gonna TP out.
He does dodge a bullet in the end, though, and BZZ again on the move. Are there sentry wards up on the Radiant side? They do have some on Sing Sing, but well, if he gets jumped right away to start this fight, it's going to be tough for him to react. Leap comes in, the pounce will connect, and the ulti pop. They get off a sentry, but not really going to help you very much while the Slark's under the influence of his ultimate. They steal a Stampede. Nicely done by Jerax, but doesn't even let him get out of here safely. Stop, and it looks like, actually just a double edge will be enough for the kill. Quickfire at least takes the tower in the meantime. And Bulldog split pushing.
Necro's forced to move middle to actually stop the Lycan from taking the tier 1. And yeah, they actually got, even though they lost 2 supports, but they are, like you mentioned, quite well, got the tier 1 at top. Bulldog doing a lot of damage to the tier 1 at middle and forcing the Storm even creep skip. They took away 1 wave of creeps before he TP'd back to base. So VP getting 2 support kills, but no objective achieved.
And Bulldog is farming pretty well. Even though they're not really able to take these engagements, he's getting close to Necro too. He is rushing it, not completing the treads or anything along those lines, just going straight into it. And they're kind of playing the way they have to right now. Uh-oh. Sing Sing walks up the hill. He gets off a Mystic Flare. Then they silence G, and they might be able to turn this. He has a mech, but won't be able to pop it. And
that was
a
huge.
costly death.
Rubik got the Reaper Scythe and Reapered the Necro. That was totally big. That was a very big play.
Not just that, but killing the Necrophos of all heroes. This guy is super fat. 119 CS on G at only 17 minutes. He's the leader in net worth. He's the most leveled hero in the game. And they just got a big rubber band off of that.
That is one of those moments where you look back at a replay and you just talk about what actually went wrong. And this is something where you classify it as a turning point in the early game or any point of the game. This is something as huge as that. That was just a very big play by the Rubik.
It's also generally not what you see out of a Necrophos pick. This is not like a Slark where you kind of expect him to be running around on his own, deep behind enemy lines.
He was too aggressive. I mean, like, if he would have gotten a kill, it was just a risky play. Simplified. Didn't pay off.
I feel like you see BZZ die doing something like that, it's like, oh well, that's what Slark does. He goes for risky plays like that, but generally not the Necrophos style.
Yeah, it's not even about the player though, it's just about the hero doesn't you don't usually do like stunts like that on Necrophos.
Yeah, exactly. It's a Slark play,
yeah,
but maybe G wishing he was playing the Ember or the Slark this game.
Yeah, I agree. It's more of a Slark thing or Ember thingy. But like even Ember would have died there, I think, because he would have got lifted by the Rubik and stuff like that. But yeah, maybe only Slark would have survived. But now Tinker are just rotating into the jungle with a smoke. They didn't actually get a ward place off, like sometimes middle lane, they're jumping in.
BZZ does get silenced. Nice Orchid timing here from Quakefun. He'll get the pick off on your Dazzle. Suddenly right back into it as Slark gives him a love poke, but can't really follow that one up. They fail on the tower deny as well. Unfortunately, y'all unable to get it, so more and more gold piling into Quakefun's pockets. Suddenly, the leader in net worth, and really starting to pull himself back into this game.
Yeah, game is more or less even out right now if you check on the goal graph. Just back on that kill on the Necrophos and everything.
That
Just
one
turned
Necrophos
completely just
kill,
because.
that one kill in the tower was the entire gold deficit right there.
Yeah, it's a very huge deal. Now Lycan, I think Lycan has a level 3 book completed.
Dyer's
Yep.
top tower is under attack.
Yeah, level 3 book completed, so he's gonna be able to push really fast now. Stampede use top lane.
Oh, that stolen Reaper sight doing work once again. In the meantime, Johnum getting
My
caught
God.
out as Tanker begin to punish VP all around the map. They even TP out in time. VP unable to respond quickly enough, and
Middle tower
That
is
was
a lot of
huge deal
this,
again.
a lot of this coming down to Bulldog. He's had Wolves scouting some enemy heroes in this area, and they knew they could go in for the jump top because there were 2-3 heroes off in their woods.
Yes, with knowledge comes great decision making.
Yeah, like the word for Centaur earlier. It's all coming full circle now, WinteR.
Yeah, you get some early game, I get some later on. But at this point, it's all about like whoever gets the later kills is actually getting a lot more compared to the early kills. This is happening to VP right now. They are getting very far behind. Like it's just like you look at the net worth, it's 1,005 or 2,000 gold, but the enemy lineup is so scary with a lead. Like Lycan and Storm, when they have a lead, you're gonna lose all your map control. Like even if having a slug on your team, you don't feel safe because Storm can kill you alone.
Moving towards bottom are 4 heroes for Tinker. They look to set up shop, and they're actually TPing the Storm out, so they're not going to commit to a push. Just trying to draw VP one way and then split push the other.
By the way, if you're VP right now, you actually hope that the slug actually went Midas because things are going really bad for them.
Yeah, this Shadow Blade has netted him the 1 kill top. That's really the only kill it's gotten him.
And the Invis rune on the Centaur might be able to do more this time.
They just got some eyeballs, but
they see the Necrophos with the ward previously. Oh, easy.
Uh-oh, silence. They do swap him out, though, right as the coil came out, so it breaks. It will end up stunning him still. Bulba's Puck the first to go down. Jerax lifting the Centaur, and
Revenge.
a little revenge kill for
Revenge.
G. Sweet, sweet revenge.
Well, he still got 2 Necrophos ulti on himself, so that's like... I mean, Rubik still got the better trade of it.
The Jerax Rubik pick has... At first, it didn't look like it was getting much done, but even though he's 2-5, the kills he got were game-changing kills for this team.
Yeah, game like I mentioned, the key when you look back at replay, those are key points.
Yeah, this little skirmish right here.
What the Necrophos is going to have, like looking at the item progression, Necrophos is going to have this Acceptor. Centaur has actually a Vanguard, like Crimson Guard good against Lycan, but not too sure how much it will actually help later on in the game. I am actually feeling he might actually need a BKB just to make sure that, because against a Rubik, like his lift is instant, so having a BKB is always secure initiations. So I think BKB would be something that he would be considering right now. And Bulldog is getting stalked by this slug right now.
Yeah, Tony Slark in the
Waiting
house.
for backup.
Bulldog no TP scroll.
TP.
He's going to start morphing, but he
dear.
gets leaped on, and then the jump in will come, it looks like. Jadam about to arrive. They stampede, and they get the long range magic
Necrophos.
missile. That was a homing missile right there.
Yeah, they actually, it was actually unlucky as well. The Necrophos ulti was like 3-4 seconds off cooldown. Otherwise, they could have waited, and that would have actually done so much more damage compared to this normal gang because they used 5 heroes.
Yeah, it could have been a 70-second death timer. Now, he did not have eggs yet, and there is a buyback, but still, it's very costly.
Yeah, I think it's, even though they lost the Lycan, they would have felt it was okay because they were farming the whole map and they didn't get Necrophos ulti on the Lycan, so it was something that Tinker, I feel, might have even actually come off even on terms of trade because they were farming the whole map out of that kill, even though they lost their position 1 hero.
It comes with the strategy. Their strategy is park Storm and Lycan generally on opposite sides of the map, and the result is one of them's going to die here or there. But you get the map control, you get these aggressive wards down, you find pickoffs, and you make up for any deaths elsewhere. Because BZZ will go in, he gets off the Dark Pack quickly, but that's it.
Yeah, like you mentioned, somebody's gonna die, and the enemy team I mean, like if you're a Tinker, you're just trying your best to avoid people dying by scouting with the wolves and basically use up as much of the resources on the map as possible, because you have Storm and Lycan. You split push really well, and it's gonna be up to whether the Centaur actually catches you and how much the wolves actually scout the exact position of the Centaur. That would be like the thing that Tinker are looking to accomplish, getting the knowledge of where the Centaur is.
I'm
all the
just
time.
I'm just looking at Dire Vision right now, WinteR, and it's not that great. They are really playing in the dark right now. Compare that to Radiant.
They need a gem.
They had
need
the lane
a gem
ward.
for sure.
Yeah, against the Lycan, against all these aggressive wards, it feels mandatory.
Yeah, I mean it's against Lycan alone. You need the gem because of the scouting of the wolves. That's ridiculous. Like they can see so much all the time, and you can't be spending sentries everywhere. It's just too much of an investment.
And these wards, these aggressive wards, they've got another one down now near the Rush Pit. It might even spot
really
VP
good
looking to
place.
smoke.
Did he actually get? I think they saw him because there's a ward here. Yeah, they saw him. They know. They probably know that. Yeah, they're pinging out. See. But you notice how much like it's like a plan from the Team Tinker supports. They need to get vision so that because they understand that the risk of their playstyle right now, they need to get information on where the heroes are and knowing when and where they can speed push. So they need like supports. Usually you don't see supports running around the map going into the enemy ancients alone just trying to place wards. But they know that it's very important for them to have this aggressive ward so that the Lycan and Storm can farm very confidently knowing where the Centaur is. So I understand, even though it got dewarded, but you could tell how important the supports on Tinker rate having the aggressive wards right now at this point of the game.
How do you feel about this early BOT pickup from Bulldog? As he's being scouted here. Do you like the early BOTs, the full Rat Wolf?
I think it's good when you can actually catch with the Storm and knowing that your position 1 Lycan can come and bail you out anytime if it's a, let's say, a difficult kill that you can't take alone. So the boost of travel alone synergizes really well on that terms alone. And the second thing is you can BT to your wolves, right? When you're scouting, if you see some fight happening and you have a wolf nearby, you can just BOT over. So that's also another thing that you can have in mind. Like it's a great item to have at this point of the game. Like you look at how they are playing. Centaur is coming in again, middle lane. 16 looks to be.
I think he just double tapped his blink because he blinked back.
Yeah, I thought he was dead. He was dead for sure. But
I think Sonoy accidentally double tapped it and just blinked back towards his well. Wow.
Yeah, they're gonna move to top, try and defend, but again,
they don't have Stampede. They've used the smoke. This is a bit hard to take the fight now.
They are getting moved around by Tinker very well in the map.
And now Bulldog can just push bottom.
And just look at how they are being moved, and they are always constantly having to move as a unit, like 5 heroes, because they are worried about the catch. But now they have to move. Oh, the Necrobolt actually scouts the slot. So no pick off here. They need to at least get the deny on this tower. They need to get the deny on this tower at least.
Yeah, it will be denied by Yol. He makes up for what he couldn't get earlier mid. Still though, it feels like Tinker are just the ones deciding where VP move. They've had the better ward vision for most of this game. They force them to TP one way, then Lycan pushes the other, and they're not really dying. It's been a while since they've died. It's been like 6-7 minutes.
Not dying when you're playing something like this is actually extremely hard to do sometimes because of certain things, like you don't have enough vision. But this game, the supports have been providing a lot of vision, and the wolves as well. So Sing Sing is gonna die this time.
This time Sonoy blinks forward, and that will be the death of Sing Sing. But 5 hero smoke. Can they get an objective off of this?
Rubik got Stampede. They need to at least get the Roshan. Do they have gem? Otherwise, the wolves will actually. He plays the sentry ward a little too far.
I don't know if can Tinker fight into the pit is the question. I'm not sure.
They're not gonna come. Yeah.
VP's still a pretty strong 5-man.
They need to react quick to this. Lycan TP top. So this is something they need to address very soon. Otherwise, you're gonna take a lot of damage on your tower.
They don't have book for 5. It's only now coming online, but already the rest of the squad's here to try and fight. They go in with Bulba as VP look to defend, and Bulldog forced to pop his ulti and run. Bulba now leaping on out of there with the Blink Dagger, and or rather with the Orb, and will look to retreat. In the meantime, they do end up taking down the Roshan. So Aegis popped onto your Slark, still for VP. I think, acceptable losses, losing like a half of the tower's health against this draft, but honestly, they're just lucky that the Necro book wasn't up when that push began. Or it would have been mostly dead.
You know, I still think Tinker he's gonna be very happy with that trade. They got a tier 2 half like you mentioned 500, 600 damage on actually 700 damage on a tier 3. And they're not going like you have Aegis, but if you're Tinker you don't really care too much because you're not trying to seek a 5v5 engagement, you're just trying to rat and split push everywhere until VP cannot take it at all. So you're not so concerned, like even when you take this sort of trade, when you have this type of lineup, you're not too phased at all because you're only worried if they can use the Aegis and push your high ground and try to threaten your barracks, but at this point VP cannot do that at all.
Yeah, VP just feeling like they had to go for something, which I also kind of agree with for them. Yeah, it's still nice for Tinker, but the alternative is that VP's just sitting back, not finding kills or like killing just the Skyrath. They kind of have to go for those trades the way the game's developed, or they end up getting nothing important.
I think they need a gem so badly. The Wolves are like, they scouted, like Bulldog scouted the Necro moving up, the supports moving up and everything, and bottom lane, instantly they know whoever comes bottom they can just kill because it's a lone hero, and Sing Sing got another ward off, like a very deep, quite a deep ward in the enemy territory. Okay, this Dazzle's dead. He's dead. Right?
Actually, no, other way, but now he gets the grave off at least. Still the pull comes through. And the Orchid already having been used. Does he get the follow-up damage? G has his ulti. Can he get it off in time? Oh, Lincoln Sphere. Now they pop it, and they're going to end up bringing down the Storm, deleting him from the game for 100 seconds with no buyback. And, oh, that's costly. The Aghanim Scepter's out. It won't matter even if he had the buyback, as he'll end up going down there. Suddenly they lose the Rubik in the river, too. And the tower is denied by the Centaur mid. 3 big wins for VP.
I think that only happened because Koik1 missed the Dazzle on the first attempt and he still wanted the kill. And also you have to comment the Dazzle. Again, he got his grave off before anything happened. Top lane. Slugs coming in.
Courier? Uh-oh. Oh no. That's costly. That Radiant Courier carrying the Bloodstorm recipe and the Soul Ring for your Storm Spirit. That hurts. That has to be like a 5-6k gold swing.
This is what Tinker don't want to have happening. Enemy have Aegis and trying to get to your base.
Boba is going to leap onto Sidoi here. He's already used his magic stick, and while Slark comes in as a return, he looks for Sling Sing. He doesn't get the kill just yet. Jarex is there, but Jarex pulling the Slark back in towards himself. There's still an Aegis out. The Centaur barely able to escape and survive. Sidoi kept alive, and Bulldog forced into rat mode. A little bit earlier than he would have liked. G goes in again, and he ends up getting the kill. That's once more with the Aghanim Scepter. He's deleted 2 heroes from the game. Rubik now on the sidelines for 70 seconds. Now Bulldog in trouble. Top, they don't have a swap. Can he run his way out of here? It's going to be close. The leap's cooling down, but he just makes it out. The pains come out. Where's he going to go? He doesn't have it. Oh, he does have BOTs. He'll get out safely.
Suddenly, like, just because of one mistake that happened at bottom, it's like a chain reaction. Suddenly the enemy takes control of the map. Look at now who has the advanced wards. Suddenly VP have all the wards in front of the Tinker base. And this is a huge deal for them. Like, they want to push and they know where the Storm and Lycan's heading and stuff like that. This is a very big info for them. And they know that every movement that comes through middle lane, basically, everything that comes through middle lane is seen.
Oh, Koikfa, I don't know if he can get the solo kill. This is a very fat Necrophos. Even Sidoi is not killable. He's got 2,000 HP. You need backup for this.
He can't kill anybody. He's waiting for the puck, but I think he got spotted by the ward.
They have vision, yeah. Dire team has vision. And no Radiant Smoke.
They need to take control of the situation, though, Tinker. They need to like do what they've been doing very well during the 15 to 25 minute mark. They need to continue in that rhythm and try to again make VP uncomfortable by forcing them to speed up on the map. And they also need their gem right now, unless they want to move the Lycan Necrobook across the maps to try and look for the wards. But I think that will probably not happen, so they will probably need a gem.
And Bulba maybe looking to creep skip here now. Still the Invis about to run out. He rotates towards mid. He's going to walk into Yol potentially. Nope. 2 ships crossing in the night. Neither team getting vision. That's unfortunate. No, Koikfa just goes to farm, and then he has to find Yo, this time, no grave. He'll die. And Koikfa's been waiting forever for that easy kill with the quick orchid.
Yeah, but he didn't have the bloodstone yet because the courier died. Yeah, so he didn't get charges.
Yeah, I think he's still short. He's still got to buy the components.
Oh, okay.
So he's a bit short as well.
Yeah, bottom lane, they're trying to set up a kill here, but there's a ward again for Tinker, so they see everything.
Uh-oh, Bulldog could be in danger. Nope, swapping in onto the Skywrath Mage, and then Bulldog turning against Jotum, but it's not going to be enough damage as G tanks through it all, again throwing out that devastating Necrophos ultimate, forcing Koikfa back from the fight, and, well, Jeraxi managed to steal it, it looks like, and ends up getting the counter kill in the Vengeful Spirit, but he doesn't have an Eggs yet, so it's not nearly as devastating.
This Rubik is playing Jerax is playing very good this game. He's keeping his team in the game.
He definitely
is. Without the plays that he did early on, I think his team would have probably been in a very bad position come mid-game. But now, VP is still obviously ahead after the few pickoffs they got. And they're still looking to find an opportunity to push high ground.
They're just containing Tinker a lot better now. Like the aggressive wards, the creep equilibrium, it's all favoring VP more and more.
Yeah, that's like something that they didn't have. Like we talked about it for the first maybe 20-25 minutes where Tinker basically had better map control, better vision, but now VP have their wards, so they are able to actually control the map much better compared to the early game.
Well, Koikfa will finally get his Bloodstone, but it feels a bit late given how powerful his 20 to 30 minute period of the game was. Now the Bloodstone online, Storm a hero that can take over the game. Nobody disputes that, but just hasn't found many openings as of late.
He just needs to worry about getting Necrophos out though. Even though he's a hero that can control the game, like take control of the game alone, but if you get deleted, what can you do, pal?
Reinstall. That's all you can do. Hope you have a good backup.
Yeah,
and
but
their backup is a Lycan.
You need to wait. You need to their backup. What if he gets refresher? It's gonna be a point in the game where I think it's his next item basically. Like he doesn't need anything else after the BKB.
Well, Slark might get an Abyssal. Uh-oh. Zip in from Koikfa onto BZZ, but he's able to just casually Shadow Blade away, and now Koikfa first to retreat out. In the meantime, Radiant Team has eyes on G. Can they get the jump on him? Sadoy's at his side, though, and they do have a Stampede. It's a tough kill without the Storm here. They could TP in the Lycan. The Wolves are in position.
Yeah, they might actually try and do this. They have the numbers here, the numbers advantage, and they know two heroes were top just now, the Bench and the Slug. So they might actually want to make a move on the Necrophos. But he has a BKB though, so it's not going to be easy.
And a mech, and 2,300 health. They're going to have to commit a lot for it, and they will go in with the stolen Necrophos right off the bat. Jerax again with the plays, as they now manage to steal Stampede, bringing down the Centaur as well, ending a mega kill streak, a big turn in Tinker's favor. And they're going to push right down the bottom lane, looking for this tier 2.
I just want to say the Rubik pick is justified.
He has, how many times, he's used like what, 4 or 5 Reaper Scythes already?
Twice on the Necrophos, once
oh, they see BZZ, now they're going to turn the other direction, jump onto him, they silence him. At one point there were 3 silences on him, it looked like, and well, BZZ will end up going down. Again, the Rubik. And meanwhile, Koikfa right back the other direction. On to Yol, swapped out a bit, but he just keeps on zipping in. He's going to get the 1 kill, the Lincoln Sphere, going to block that Jotum stun. Not sure if he can get this one, but he'll try for it. He jumps all the way in. He just auto-attacks him down, getting the overload procs after the auto-attacks start flying out, and that's going to be 5 dead. They've got 3 buybacks. They better use them now.
God. Lycan's going to break your base, though.
If these heroes go down again, that's probably megas. Because if you die back on 1 or 2 cores, they're just taking 2-3 lanes of Rax with the Lycan pick. But they won't actually end up having to fight.
That was just a really good play by Tinker. Like they know that the Storm bought enough space at top. He knew there was 2 heroes, and once again the Rubik, without the Necrophos ulti, they wouldn't have gotten the kill. Like the stolen Necrophos ulti yet again. providing a crucial stun lock duration at the start, so that G couldn't activate his BKB on time, because there was like he couldn't get in position to lift, so he had to rely on the stun on the Necroforce ulti.
Honestly, you look at this draft and there's some good spells to steal, but there's no obvious like, oh my god, stealing that spell is amazing. Necrophos ult sounds nice on
like,
paper, but man, Jarex has really gotten mileage out of it this time.
Yeah, how often can you say something about a Rubik game like this? It's not obviously a good Rubik game, and he's playing so well.
Yeah, it's at least not the flashy ultimates. You know, there's no Ravage, Chrono, Doom, but he's getting it done with the Necrophos ult. As VP, remember they used a couple buybacks here. They're going to look to make their move right as Tinker smoke and back off. And BZZ reveals it from the low ground, just casually walking through. Don't mind me, folks. Oh, well, you'd better mind him. Actually, the Venge ends up, well, going to bail him out a bit. Swaps him out. He ends up surviving, and still it's a 2 for 2. Support's dying everywhere. Quake fin to the tree line, and the rest of the squad just clearing out the wave in the end. Good defensive swap there, though.
Yeah, they got the gem from, I think it was the Rubik's gem, if I'm not mistaken. Is there a name? They got the gem. Do they say whose gem is it? Oh no, it's actually their own
Yol's
gem.
gem.
They retrieve. Yeah, they retrieve their own gem at least. So Storm is gonna zip out. So this is once again like back towards a total control of the Tinker side. They are back in a. They even get the Rex, so the range Rex at bottom.
I feel like a ping pong ball right now, Winter. We're getting swatted around.
This game is totally bouncing around. Like early game, you would say Team Tinker sort of fell behind because of how much the center got on the offlane. Then mid game, they come back a little. Then VP came back a little. Then now it's back towards Tinker side again.
BZZ is gonna leap on the Bulldog here. Has the BOTs. There is a bash though. This will be annoying. Bulldog no ulti, and they're gonna stampede. They really want this kill on the lycanthrope. Now, should he go down, he does have buyback, but it looks like he will drop, and that's suddenly 48 easy agility for BZZ, and a much-needed kill. VP, is this the turn of the next swing of momentum back the other way? I mean, I'm just looking at this graph, man. 15,000 gold swing almost.
They can try to just get Roshan out of this, but it's gonna be a little risky because the Storm can. There's always a chance, you know, against a Storm. You're worried that something might go wrong when you're taking Aegis.
And that the worst part is
to the Wolves.
The worst part is you do all the work for him.
Yeah, he BOT to the Wolves and was there in time to get a free. I mean, he didn't need to be there to get a kill, but he got Bloodstone charge, so it was also worth it. Now maybe VP are considering to get Roshan still.
That's a dieback from Slurp. He's dead for 80 seconds. I don't think they can go for Rosh here.
Yeah, too dangerous, but they have to get back to base, and Lycan is gonna. And this is dangerous. Lycan is out in 25. Creep wave. There's a creep wave near the enemy tower, like near VP's base at top. He can BOT to top to try and do something. If they wish to do so, they can get the Lycan at top.
Yeah, on top of that, he does have buyback, although he's not going to need to use it. But like you said, far too risky to go for that play.
So he's gonna actually go towards the middle lane, get the lanes, or push out again. Storm probably wants to like sit out at top to see if he can get any pickups here. Or the ward is gonna see Sadoy, so he knows the Centaurs around the top lane area, but so he knows exactly when he's safe and when he's not. Again, information.
Knowledge is power. Certainly being proven here in this particular game, and I mean, it goes double for the gem, and well, with that, they see a couple of heroes top. Now, they're going to go straight into the Roche pit, and with the Lycan, AC complete, Vlad's complete, building towards a Lincoln Sphere. We'll talk about that in a second, but he's got enough damage to bring this down very quickly. So yeah, up against the Necrophos ult, they go double Lincolns.
Double Lincolns.
Nobody wants to be deleted.
Yeah, that's actually like the best items I think they can get against the Necro. There's nothing else will help you basically against the ulti. You want to have as much, maybe even a third Lincolns on Bulba, I think.
Just so you can throw an extra one on your teammate.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still a good item to get Hex for the park, but I wouldn't say that the Hex is much better than the Lincolns in this game though. I think the Lincolns would do as much, if used appropriately, would do as much as the Hex would do.
For now, Koikfa winding his way into the tree line. He popped in here from out of vision. So VP, no idea he's in the area. Constantly dropping those remnants, just getting the little extra bit of flying vision to potentially scout for some kill opportunities. And it is actually a triple Lincolns. So at this point, killing the Storm or the Lycan gets very difficult.
Yeah, and this is a type of game where if you are a support like Bench and Dazzle, it's a nightmare against the Storm this farm, and there are so many Lincolns to protect him. This is a very bad nightmare for them.
They are hunting Koikfa a little bit. Slark's in the neighborhood.
I don't think they can kill him though, unless the Centaur somehow manages. Like, look at just what Koikwa is doing. Like, having these remnants along means that it's so difficult for the Centaur to get close to get a Storm off. Like, without the Storm initiation, it's so hard for them to kill the Storm. Like, they can't kill him. And they're using so much time and so many resources. Like, they rotated 3 heroes there and they didn't get the kill. And look at what Tinker's doing again, farming their jungle, farming bottom lane. They're just using the map once again much better than VP.
And bottling up a VP draft that wants to be in your face and fighting. Slark wants to be out on the map going for kills. Necrophos, more thought of more as a pushing hero, I think, historically, but you go for this Blink Ags build, you want to be killing heroes, removing them from the map, and trying to take advantage of a 5v4 situation, knowing that there's no way they can buy back. So just no chance to use it.
Yeah, another crucial thing is like, the reason why they're in this position as well is because the Slug went for Shadow Blade first item without Midas. If he had Midas, the situation would have been a lot better right now for VP. At least they have some sort of like insurance because your Slug has a Midas, but now they are under a lot more pressure because of the decision they made a lot earlier. Slug is again tailing Quackwa, but Quackwa putting down that Remnant again, so he knows that someone Invis is nearby. Obviously, only the Slug would have Invis, so he immediately balls out to safety.
Yeah, as soon as that Remnant pops, he just casually zips away. And if you had Midas at this point, BZZ probably has like Abyssal and another item completed. 46
I think
minutes.
he would have another item. Yeah, another item.
They needed a bash there in Koikfa, but no such luck.
Yeah, this is just one of those things, you know. It has a very detrimental effect in the game, not getting a Midas, and the game turns out to be like that. Every small little decision you make has a very huge impact.
Yeah, I mean, you do go back to the lead they had, and it could have worked. It definitely could have worked in terms of just snowballing, but this kill right here really turned it around.
It could have worked, like you mentioned, it could have worked. But again, like, you are taking a risk not going for the Midas when you have absolute free farm as well. So, I mean, it could have worked is one thing, but it's a risk, you know. You can tell VP is taking a lot of risks in this game, and Team Tinker are trying their best to take less risks.
They're going for a jump now. BZZ Storm will come in, gets off the Hex, and BZZ in a bit of danger. The Mystic Flare chucked down, and will secure the kill. In the meantime, bottom lane, Bulldog is pushing. And this is real. This is going to cripple his item progression if he has to buy back.
Yeah, he has to buy back. There's no option.
Yeah, you don't buy back here. It's not one lane of Rax you're in danger of losing. It's 2-3 maybe, as the BKBG will lurch into the fight. He goes on to Jerax. He does not want his ulti stolen this time. He'll just auto-attack him down, but oh, look who's bottom. Lycan Wolves, Koikfa, taking your Rax. The range now down, the melee being rapidly sieged. He will get stomped, and then the link gets broken. They actually bring him down to about 2/3 health, but they can't really do much more.
Nah, they don't have enough lockdown there. They need... I'm actually considering maybe they would actually feel they need a Scythe. Oh, they're gonna go in on the Slug in the lane. Oh, he's gonna get silence.
BZZ, oh no, he just bought back, and as quickly as he's bought back, he's gone from the game. Now G's jumping in all by his lonesome. Backup is coming, as Bulldog will TP straight top. Rat tactics engaged, an easy range Rex about to be claimed. Oh, he's just one step ahead of VP. Now he comes back in, thinking about fighting him. Koikfa will go down, and that, oh, looks like the Necrophos ult didn't get the kill, as there's no indication that he can't buy back here. So
yeah, that was
really close,
really
though.
Fortunate for them. Yeah, that was close. That was very close.
I guess the thing is, Bloodstone's kind of your insurance against that to some extent, as you will still respawn quite a bit quicker, but that does hurt a lot.
Yep. But Slug died twice, so that if you look at his net worth, he's not, like you mentioned,
He
so
had
far behind right
3.2k, now he's got 800. Abyssal Blade is a distant memory and dream at this point.
now. Memory. Distant memory. He's probably not even, there's a chance he might not even finish it before the game ends. Oh, Rubik going in for a lift again.
Shiva's Guard was used. Jarek still has a Force Staff if need be. He's going to pop it now and, well, steals the Stampede, but he still gets stopped and clipped by Sadoy. Now Koikfa re-engaging onto Sadoy, will look to bring him down and successfully counter-initiates there. And with that, Centaur also probably going to have to buy back. It feels like they're 1 or 2 buybacks away from just flat out losing this game.
I think they more or less took too much damage already, but they still have to defend their racks here.
And they're ratting it nicely. Koikfa's off top. The rest of the action comes mid, but Bulldog with the Lincoln Sphere, they can't even initiate as Koikfa continues to siege that top lane. He takes a full lane of racks uncontested.
Yeah. By the way, the summons took out the remaining racks at bottom as well, so they took both sides.
This is a Bulldog comfort hero. Lycan, definitely on his list of heroes he wants to be playing as much as possible.
You know, I'm happy he actually transitioned to this role because it means that he plays Lycan and he's gonna play Naga Siren.
He's gonna have fun. It feels like most of those super rat heroes right now are those one position heroes. Those are the ones that are popular.
Yeah,
we're not seeing too much of the
Naga
Nature's Prophet and Lone Druid nowadays.
Yeah, he even mentioned like it's very hard for those 2 heroes in the current meta. It's just something that's so he's found his new feasible heroes now.
No, what a time to find them as well. As they look for a jump in here onto Yol. He's gonna Force Staff himself back, but Tinker just taking it easy. They don't want to fully tango. Just put their foot in the water and see if VP are ready to fight. They want these clean, safe kills. And what do you know? Once again, the Wolves. They're always scouting. And even if you get a gem, the gem can't be everywhere. The Wolves can be on like almost every side of the map. We'll just get them on one side, then TP to the other side, resummon, and G as a result gets scouted out. So Koikfa can easily back off.
And the rat commences. This is so annoying. Like imagine if you are in VP's shoes, you're like close to raging when you get moved by the enemy like this and the wolves are scouting you.
And he's not even threatening real objectives. He's just taking a building. He'll cancel a TP from the Necrophos.
You know, it feels like Sadoy is like yelling, there's got to be wolves next to me, and he's yelling the bench to come over. Like bench, Jotham is like shutting over, getting his gem over, and
they denied the building. That's so spiteful.
Yeah, this has got to be one of the most frustrating games as a support. You know?
Bulldog might be back, WinteR. Maybe we're finally seeing the return of the Rat King.
Yep, you're excited for some. I'm actually excited for him to play Naga Siren because I've not seen him play the hero in an official match, which I think is his type of hero.
I agree. I would love to see a good Bulldog Naga Siren. Wolves will go down mid.
People might get mad though when Bulldog comes back with this type of heroes.
People will just have a nice power nap, you know. They'll come back for the next game when it's banned. Bulldog's doing everyone a favor. Gamers don't sleep enough, and he just wants to make sure everyone gets their rest. He's looking out for your health, guys.
This is desperation. They need to get a Reaper Scythe kill with this smoke. This is desperate times. They actually completed a Scythe on the Necrophos so that they can actually take out the Storm.
But good luck with that. Necro minions now going into the bottom lane. Let's start just slap it away at some buildings. Oh, maybe they can. They get off the Necrophos ulti, but it's not much follow-up to that as Bulldog morphs into Big Bad Wolf form and goes in with the BKB onto G. He's quite tanky though, G. Not an easy frag. Turning back for BZZ, also not particularly easy. In the meantime, the Puck dancing with that enemy Centaur. The BKB will wear off, and VP, now they got to go defend their base. The tier 4s are under siege from the top. The mid, just a trickle of a creep wave coming in. And they want kills instead, though. This means they're fighting without the full 5 as now the Aghanim's coil is deployed. You're not going anywhere, BZZ. Not so fast, says Bulba. He'll now Cyclone up the Centaur. Jerax lurches in. He's already used the Stolen Stampede, and wildly leaping forward is Koikfa with the big zip-in initiation, popping the Shivas midair. just kind of showing off his acrobatic skills as Sedoy looks to retreat. BZZ gonna take down Jerax. So far they've only lost their Necrophos, but tier 4s beginning to take damage, and they're not killing the key heroes. Not killing the Lycan, not killing the Storm.
Yeah, they're still facing the same problem, getting red, buildings taking damage here and there, and Storm is getting pick offs left and right, getting his burststone charges. It's still the same problem. They're gonna, if you're gonna lose eventually, it's like a slow death.
It's a death by 1,000 cuts. It really is at this point for Team VP. And I don't know what they do about it.
You know, I just want to say this team is so different with Jerax. Like, they needed someone to control the team and a true support hero, a support player. Such a big difference when I watch them play now.
It fits them so much better than having like an EGM type support who, you know, wants to kind of spend time farming. He's more of a core.
Do they even have a support player before this?
Bulba,
like,
I think Bulba's support can be decent, but he's to me, my experience is just seeing Bulba interact with his team. I feel like he's not the shot caller. He's a very good emotional leader if the team's going well, but Jerax seems to just be a bit more confident at, you know, playing that true hard support.
Natural leader. They need this sort of player.
Well, it's hard to know for sure without hearing their conversations, but they just seem a lot more coordinated, that's for sure.
You can tell from their play, a lot more coordinated.
As the fight will break out. Koikfa's going to force out a BKB from Sedoy. He zips past the stomp. It's Bulldog working on buildings, though. He takes down the Ranger X. BZZ tanking a whole lot of damage from that Mystic Flare, and, well, only a melee Rax now standing. Time's running out for VP. They've got to hold the line here. Look to turn it around. Koikfa chipping away from the right. G trying to turn and fight. He will get off the Hex. He has his ulti. Maybe they can take him down. They will remove the Storm for 80 seconds, even with the Bloodstone. Oh, not too many charges. Dead for ages. And I think that is the one worry for Tinker. They have to be careful not to give up too many kills to the Aghanim's Necrophos. No matter how far ahead you are, that hero can make it a 5v3 very quickly. Or at least a 5v4.
Yeah, when he gets the refresher at some point, that will be the dangerous time. That might present an opportunity for VP to come back in the game, but I feel without the refresher, it's still too difficult. The only way they come back is with the refresher on the Necro and you get 2 Reaper kills.
Invisibility.
Well, they got one. They hold the line, but it costs them a range Rax. I think the tier 3 was still up at the start of that, and one more bad fight. That's really all it takes, and they're pretty much out of this one. VP playing without an insurance policy. And BZZ walks up the hill. He walks into trouble. He has no buyback. It's been the story of this game. BZZ trying hard to make plays. G looking to do the same, and dead for 90. This could be it.
Yeah, 14 seconds on the Storm. I think they just run down now to get the Rex.
Seems like they want to push all the lanes out first.
Yeah, they have so much time. They probably know the Slug doesn't have buyback as well.
Wolves are scouting, though. So they got eyeballs on these heroes rotating bottom, and if they don't want to fight, they can just immediately go mid and top.
And the Wolves just run past the Venge beat the gem, and he can't do jack about it. And he goes into the Rex.
This is so irritating for Team VP.
Yeah. So frustrating, you know, as a support, when you just look at the Wolves doing that.
Now Sedoy trapped out mid by Koikfa. He gets hexed. They're not going to commit to this, though. And they're seeing the lack of buyback on Slark and probably thinking if he had it, he'd be using it. Aegis still up for 2 minutes on the Lycan, and here we go. Lycan's Fear was used, and now he BKBs. He just goes straight for the melee. That's your Mega Creeps. They try and swap him to keep him off the building. It ain't going to work. And if they want, they can just retreat and watch them play tower defense. Coil was already used by Bulba, and, well, it might cost Jerax's life. He got in pretty deep. He does have a Ghost Scepter, though, trying to run his way out of here. Necrophos ulti was forced out. End of the day, just losing the Rubik. Not sure if that's worth it, because they got to deal with Bulldog. He's still got Aegis. He's walking right back in the mid. They're going to try to jump him once. Koikfa fighting his way through this. Onto Jotum he goes. Bulldog taking some nuke damage here. Aegis will be popped. He's got a second life. Creeps beginning to work their way onto the tier 4s. And yeah, Bulldog now forced to retreat a bit. The Liquid Sphere was popped. He doesn't have ulti for 15. They are chasing him. They don't have a Necrophos ult for a while, though. So Bulldog, he'll die a second time, but he can buy back. And now the throne nearly exposed. Bulba going to be next. He'll get caught out, brought down as well. But hey, look, it's me. I'm Koikfa. Right back into the mid lane. Throne at about 2/3 HP, a little bit less, and
Dire's ancient is under attack.
it's just looking almost impossible for VP, even with the 6,000 gold swing. This would be a Dota 2 miracle if they turn it around.
Yeah, it definitely would. This is close to impossible. Like, there's no way Tinker loses this game anymore. With Mega Creeps and you have Lycan. Even if you lose 3 heroes and the Lycan tries to backdoor you, then you have to send multiple heroes back and it gives the enemy time to respawn on their dead heroes. But now it's like 60 seconds on the Lycan. Like, I think they might not even need to buy back for this. They have enough time. Yeah, they don't need to buy back, I feel.
Radiant team, of course, still has Glyph. They haven't had to use this thing in ages, and they may also just be able to go in mid and get kills. Because there's only 2 VP heroes here. They'll deal with Jottam first. He gets silenced and brought down, and BZZ also silenced Jottam. One more auto attack. They finish him. Now they turn to BZZ. They get the kill again. And Fenge will buy back immediately, but
This
Slark
is the last one.
running out of time.
The Storm killed the creep where I think it was the Necro BOT. Yeah, it was the Necro. He killed the creep and he couldn't come down.
More BOTs. Why the hell not? They have so many options now. They can easily split push him back. They can go in, all in on the throne. Dire Glyph about to come off cooldown. So they'll have one more big defense left in them, it feels. This one creep.
But if Tinker is truly worried,
Dire's
they can just
ancient
wait for
is
the
under
Roshan
attack.
again. Like, what is VP gonna do?
I mean, what are they even going to do against the creeps? The creeps alone do a couple, almost 1,000 points of damage to that throne,
Yeah,
bringing it
just
below half
wait-
health.
Wait till the Lycan steps into your base with his Necro books with the aura and stuff, you know.
And that Lycan is sitting on 7k gold. May want to spend it, Bulldog is... Not sure he'll have a chance to use it a second time around with the Necrophos ultimate, but either way, it may also not matter. This dog's still got some pretty sharp teeth. And they now rotate in bottom. They leave the Storm up top, trying to just spread out VP a little bit. Popping the Dazzle ult. Or not the Dazzle ult. Yeah, it was the VP Dazzle ult. But not really much they can do to follow that up. And Wolves
they truly-
just pecking away at the throne.
They probably just want to wait for Rosh, I guess. Maybe feeling they just need to secure it like 100%. Just get the Rosh. There's even cheese, so it's Aegis and cheese.
Oh, that's the old LGD, ultra safety first. They swap
why
in
not?
Koikfa, they hex him, but he's able to just jump right out of here. And now Necrophos ulted. He's still not dead. He'll zip out and onto the throne. Bulldog, GG. He ends them. He puts them out of their misery. VP has to be a frustrating way to lose, but in the end, lose they do.
You know, that is just literally the Rat King there.
They had no options at that point. This game, it felt like, was strategically decided a long time ago for VP.
Yeah, agreed. The lineup itself and all the key moments that happen, I think definitely the MVP. It's like Storm had the most kills, but Rubik is the one that changed the game, hands down.
Jerax, what a fantastic performance from him on the Rubik. We were wondering if it would get much done after the way the laning stage went, WinteR, but man, he delivered. So with that said, guys, that does wrap up game number 1. This is a best of 3, of course. VP gonna have a shot at redemption. My friend here is WinteR. You can follow him on Twitter at WinteRDota. Of course, you can follow me if you'd like at LDDota, guys. We will return soon, momentarily, for game number 2. Tinker just looking to close out VP cleanly with the 2-0 sweep.